This one comes from Relationship Advice, posted 22 hours ago.
Oh, does it? Maybe my next one will come from Relationship Advice.
Yeah, you're just a copycat. You're a weirdo. Silly, goofy mood.
If only Spotify could see my face right there.
Okay. I, 30 female, just found out my husband's 32 male been lying to his work about my pregnant sister, 26 female, being his wife. Can I even fix this?
What the fuck?
Throw away because I'm embarrassed and don't want this on my main. I'm really struggling right now and could use some advice from people who aren't in my immediate circle because I'm too embarrassed to talk about it with anyone else. I'm 30 and I've been married to my husband, 32 male, for 5 years. We've been together for 7 and we met back in college. He was the first guy who made me feel comfortable in my own skin. I've always been more of a tomboy, into sports, preferring jeans over dresses, and my body's more of an athletic side. Growing up, that wasn't always easy. But my husband loved me for who I am, and he never made me feel like I needed to change. I really thought I'd found the perfect partner. I also have a younger sister, Rosalie, 26 female, and we've always been close. She's beautiful and effortlessly charming, the kind of person everyone just loves. Our mom has had some serious narcissistic tendencies and definitely played favorites growing up with Rosalie being the golden child. It wasn't her fault, and she never asked for the attention. In fact, she's always been super kind and supportive, even though she's the type who avoids confrontation and puts herself last to make others happy. So we've never had any issues between us, but all those comparisons growing up left me with insecurities I've never fully shaken. About 2 months ago, Rosalie's long-term partner left her after finding out she was pregnant. She was devastated, and we agreed she should move in with us for a while to get back on her feet. She's been staying with us ever since, and at first, everything seemed fine. My husband didn't seem to act any differently, so I didn't suspect anything was wrong. 1 month ago, though, I asked Rosalie to drop off something for my husband at work because I was swamped. I didn't think much of it, just that it would save me time. Well, she did, and it turns out that when she got there, everyone assumed that she was his wife. They congratulated him on his beautiful wife and their soon-to-be son, and instead of correcting them, he just went along with it. He admitted that he liked how his coworkers reacted to having a beautiful wife and a baby on the way. It made him feel good. One of his coworkers asked him where his wife was at an event, and since Rosalie had already dropped by once, before they assumed she was his wife, and he didn't correct them. It made him feel validated, that he was living up to some ideal that I guess I didn't fit into. I didn't find out about any of this until a few nights ago. We were out for dinner, celebrating our anniversary, when we ran into one of his coworkers at the restaurant. The guy asked my husband where his wife was, and when my husband said something vague about her being busy, I felt like the ground just dropped out from under me. The date was basically ruined, and we went home as soon as we ate. I confronted him as soon as we got home, and that's when he finally told me everything. To say I'm devastated would be an understatement. My husband and I have always agreed on being child-free. We had the discussions early on in our relationship, and I thought we were on the same page. I don't have a strong desire to be a mom myself, partly because I have PCOS, and I know it would be difficult for me to conceive. But now I feel like my husband's been using my sisters to live out some fantasy life that I could never give him. Rosalie had no idea about any of this. When I told her, she was horrified. She kept apologizing even though none of this was her fault. She feels awful and has even offered to move out, but I can't ask her to do that. She's already going through so much and I want to be there for her. But it's so awkward now. I can see how guilty and uncomfortable she feels being in the middle of this mess. This situation has also ripped open old wounds I thought I'd healed. I spent most of my 20s in therapy, working on my self-esteem and trying to overcome these insecurities, especially like the ones tied to growing up in Rosalie's shadow. I thought I'd finally come to a place where I could love myself or who I am. But now it feels like all the progress has been undone. Years of therapy feels wasted, and I'm back to square one, questioning my place in my husband's life. Since finding out, things have been incredibly strained at home. My husband and I haven't even been sleeping in the same bed, and we've barely spoken to each other. The trust we once had feels shattered, and I have no idea how to even start repairing it. I feel so betrayed. If he can lie about something like this, What else is he hiding? Did he think I wasn't good enough to be introduced to his colleagues? And why has he never talked about his work friends before? I'm starting to wonder if he's been hiding me because he's embarrassed by who I am. This whole thing has dragged up every insecurity I've ever had. I've always felt like I didn't measure up to Rosalie, even though she's never done anything to make me feel that way. But now it feels like my husband has confirmed my worst fears. He chose to pretend Rosalie was his wife because she fits some ideal image and I don't. I honestly don't know how to move forward from this. I love my husband and I want to believe this was just a huge mistake, but it feels like so much more than that. I'm also worried about how this is affecting Rosalie. She's been nothing but supportive, and I can see how uncomfortable and guilty she feels being in the middle of this. I'm really struggling here. How do I even begin to address this with my husband without it turning into a huge fight again? I feel so low, but I can't stand the idea of our relationship ending. I love this man more than anything. He keeps saying sorry and trying to plan date nights. I'm honestly not in the mood for any of it. I've cried 2 times and have binge ate more than I have ever before. How do I live my life now, knowing that I'm possibly not enough for my husband?
What the fuck? Yo, this guy's got something wrong with him.
Yeah.
What?
I don't even know what I would do. This would just
shattered, broken.
It would shatter
divorced.
me. Like,
there's no coming back from that. Imagine one of your coworkers stopped it at a restaurant and was like, "Oh, where's your husband?" I'm like,
I'm right here, buddy.
I'm fucking here. You don't know about me?
And I said, "Oh, he's busy tonight."
Yeah.
Oh my god. No.
How did they even? She said they continued eating. How did they even get through dinner?
I know. Why? How did she just say I'm his wife? Sorry, and then how did she question him at the dinner? Like, I would have blew up. But okay, so the reason I put this in this topic was because I think this girl has gone through a lot of therapy, which is more modern than before. I think a lot of people used to look down on therapy, but I think it's like a really great thing that everybody should be in. And I feel like no amount of therapy now, though, will ever overcome this. Like, you will always have this in the back of your mind. Your own husband was embarrassed.
But why? He doesn't even explain it.
I think, well, okay, from her perspective, it's probably because she looks more of like a tomboy.
But she's guessing. She needs to hear it from him.
That's true, yeah.
He needs to explain himself. They need to have a proper conversation. If there's any hope of anything. Yeah. But I don't see it. I don't see anything coming back from this. Imagine the sister too. I get the ick. I got this dude is giving me
I know.
the ick.
It is icky. To be the sister, I would not want to stay in that house.
No, I think he needs to leave the house.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm sleeping in the guest room. And I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't want to sleep with him. It gives me the ick.
Yeah.
If I was Rosalie, I'd be icked out too.
Yeah.
You told your coworkers I'm your wife? Ugh, creepy.
Yeah. Very creepy. Yeah. Top comment. Why are you worried about repairing the trust between you and your husband when it was he who broke it? What has he done to earn your trust back? Groveled? Explained his reasoning? You have done nothing wrong here. Yeah.
Yeah. I want answers from him.
Yeah, this is just really, really tough.
Fantasizing about her?
Yeah, I think so. He said they've agreed not to have kids, but he liked the idea of him being a soon-to-be father type of thing, having a beautiful wife,
Jeez, bro.
He liked the praise. I don't know. It seemed like he needed the therapy, actually. Sounds like
he does need therapy.
He needs external validation to make him feel good. So
he messed up what could have been a great thing. You have a little nephew that's close by, but you don't get the full responsibilities of being a dad. You can just jump in on the good parts. You don't have to do any of the bad stuff. No responsibility, but you can buy him toys. Would have been a great life, bro. You messed it up.
I know exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
this one was wild.
Bro, I would be icked out if I was Rosalie.
Yeah, the sister.
I'm like, is this dude fantasizing about me? What the hell?
Yeah.
Get the ick.
Yeah. I hope we get an update on this.
All right. Oh, where do I go from here? All right. Well, I have one story that's also coming from relationship advice.
Okay, copycat.
Okay. Yeah, I've literally just been like mirroring you this whole time, copying you.
I know.